Everything ought to be different on the inside. However, our appearance should blend in with the population. Anyone who has the power to enrage you becomes your slave. The first guideline is to have a calm spirit. The second is to confront reality and recognize things for what they are. Consider how fortunate you are to be alive and to have the ability to think, appreciate, and love when you first wake up. You have control over your thoughts, not external occasions. Knowing this will give you courage. He endures unnecessary suffering. Who endures suffering before it is required? Be like the cliff that the waves repeatedly crash against, but it maintains its position and subdues the surrounding water's ferocity. Men have one tongue but 2 ears, according to nature. However, we could listen twice as much as we speak to others. When it comes to protecting their own stuff, people are thrifty, but not when it comes to wasting time. They squander the one item where being frugal is appropriate the most. Begin. It wants to exist and treat every day as a unique life. What you need is not to be in a different area if you truly want to escape the things that bother you. Nonetheless, to be someone else. Up until we start living without them. We frequently utilize items that are not essential since we already have them instead of realizing how unneeded they are. No wind is beneficial for a man if he doesn't know from which port he sails. Every one of us values himself more than other people. Yet give more weight to their viewpoint than our own. Here is a tip to keep in mind going forward whenever something tempts you to get resentful. Not that this is bad luck, but that you can handle it honorably. In order to rule the world, man must first rule himself. Stop wasting time debating the qualities of a decent man. Be among the thoughts you have. Check your mental state. If it's not right, don't do it. Do not mention anything that is not truthful. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a reality. What matters is how you respond to what occurs to you, not what it is that you experience. Every view we have is a viewpoint, not the case. When opportunity and preparation are there, luck results. Knowing oneself is the start of all knowledge. The poor man is not the one who lacks. The poor man is the one who yearns for more. Difficulty reveals the nature of mankind. Being everywhere means being nowhere. Everybody is smiling at death. We can only return a grin, since the more we value factors outside our control, the less control we actually have. Nothing lasts forever. A person's value is determined by the value of the things he or she values. Accept that others will think you are stupid and foolish if you want to get better. If uncontrolled, anger frequently causes us more harm than the damage it was sparked by. He who is fearless is free to reject your sensation of harm, and the actual injury vanishes. No one ever became smart by accident. The willing follow fate's lead. The hesitant, dragging sound of what we do right now reverberates forever. As we watch for life, the person who completes their life each day is never short on time since life goes by. It's time for you to understand that you possess a force and miracle greater than anything that may harm you, and force you to juggle like a puppet. Wealth is defined as owning few, often silent assets rather than many large ones. Or, if you must talk, say little more than is absolutely required. All cruelty stems from weakness, and the path to greatness is a difficult one. Live each moment as though it were your last, and behave accordingly. Everything that may happen at any time can happen right now. Keep your philosophy to yourself. Because it appears tough to you, embody it. Do not believe that anybody can achieve it. Not by gratifying men's appetites, but by eliminating desire is freedom guaranteed. Situations do not form a guy. Only he can see who they are. A man should fear not death, but rather the terror of never starting to live. The secret is to exclusively hang out with positive individuals that inspire you and motivate you to perform at your best. For the benefit of one another, humans have evolved. The only way they can ruin your life is if they corrupt your character, so either teach them or learn to live with them. If not, it cannot hurt you from the inside out. The caliber of your thinking determines how happy your life will be. Even more so, mastery in reading and writing need a master. For those who forget the past, ignore the present, and worry about the future, life is extremely brief and stressful. Be rigorous with yourself, yet be tolerant with others. Your days are running out. Utilize them to widen the sun-facing windows of your spirit. If you don't, the sun will set soon and you will be left behind. Being unlike him is the finest kind of retaliation. He intentionally caused harm because it takes strength sometimes just to survive. Not because we have limited time, but rather because we waste a lot of it. Whatever transpires, everything takes place as it ought to. This will prove to be true. If you pay close attention, your life is what your ideas created. How much more tragic are the results of rage than its origins? We only have one moment to live. One who fears death can never achieve something deserving of a guy who is alive. The rest is either history or unknown. Progress can only be made by working on oneself every day, not by chance or accident. Feasts, too. Keep in mind that you are entertaining two guests, body and soul, and that whatever you feed the body, you will quickly discard. But you always keep what you offer to the soul. No one has the ability to have everything they desire, but they do have the ability to choose not to seek what they lack and to gleefully use what they do have. He is the most powerful when he has control over himself. If what you have doesn't feel like enough to you, even though you had the whole world, you'll still be unhappy. Just as effort fortifies the intellect, difficulties do as well. There's a tail on the body, as is life. What counts is how well it is done, not how long it is. A good life should last a long time. Being silent is the best response to rage. Agreed. However, just as it did with eating and drinking, nature placed a limit on it. Men can find no more serene or trouble-free sanctuary than within their own selves. If the latter was weaker, he was either stronger or weaker than him, sparing him if the former. Action is advanced when one avoids obstacles. What gets in the way of wanting to be well turns into a component of becoming well, absorb without arrogance. Release without effort. Like a cluster of grapes or a fig, nothing spectacular ever just appears. I respond that there must be time if you say you want a figure. Let it first flower, then mature, then produce fruit. Imagination causes us more suffering than reality does. Nobody can avoid their fate. The next question is how he can make the most of the time he has left. The future is unknown. Live right now, every new beginning has its predecessors, and those who forget the past, ignore the present, and worry about the future live extremely brief and nervous lives. Not because of the things that happened in our lives, but because of how we judge them. We can manage our attitude toward events, not the events themselves. Nothing is catastrophic by nature. Even death is terrifying if we fear it and if bad things are stated about it. And if it's true, make amends to yourself. Laugh it off if it's a falsehood. Regardless matter what other people say or do, cling to what is spiritually better. Keep your actual ambitions in mind. Whatever is happening in the world around you. No man is free who is not a master of himself, therefore focus on the present. A happy life may be created with very little effort. Everything is within you and your way of thinking. You will never be impoverished if you live in harmony with the environment. You will never be wealthy if you conduct your life based on what other people think. The greatest benefits of humanity are inside us and within our reach, therefore learn to be unconcerned by things that don't matter. A sensible man accepts his lot in life, whatever it may be, and does not yearn for what he does not have. Man is more troubled by his imagined fears about genuine difficulties than by actual ones. People with little minds accuse others. People in general are to fault. All blame is viewed as stupidity by the why. Observe the past. Positivity is important. Although the life we are given is not brief, we manage to live it, so we are not underprovided. But don't waste what we have, and no matter what the world throws at you, maintain your composure. Completes on the video. Thanks for watching.